guy. I'm the diversity. I saw some other brown people, two brown people, make some noise. Man, trust me, I'm from Sri Lanka, and every time I see brown people, man, I really get excited because, I've been doing this for a while. Like, I don't get to see brown people a lot in my audiences because they're busy working. Also, I got here, went to the next door Indian restaurant. I walked in, I wanted to order my food. The guy just looked at me and went like, your food will be ready in 2 minutes. Now, I haven't fucking ordered my food yet. This guy thought I was a delivery guy. Jokes on him, I didn't have to pay for my dinner. So if there's anybody in Luxembourg who didn't get their masala dosa and see this video, blame it on racial profiling. Good to be here, man. Let's talk about children's stories. Some of you look like you still read children's stories. You guys look really young. But recently I was looking into some children's stories, and I think there are certain children's stories that we shouldn't be telling our kids. Right? One of the examples are Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, does everybody here know Jack and the Beanstalk? Yeah. If you don't worry, I will summarize the story for the sake of the joke. So Jack was living with his mom. They were poor. One day, Jack's mom wanted him to take the cow to the market and sell the cow and bring some cash. Now, Jack was taking the cow to the market. On the way, meets a stranger. Exchanged the cow for some magic beans, because it's a gray area. You wouldn't take candy from a stranger, but nobody said anything about beans, right? Jack comes home with these beans. Mom's mad, furious actually. She wanted money. This guy brought beans, right? Throw away the beans. What does happen? Next morning, there's a huge beanstalk going all the way to the sky. What does Jack do? Climb the beanstalk. Sees a giant castle, enters the giant castle, sees a giant, wait until the giant eats his meals and falls asleep, and started stealing shit. On the third attempt, the giant saw this is happening and tried to catch Jack. What does Jack do? Climb down the beanstalk, and when the giant tried to climb down the beanstalk, he cuts the beanstalk. Beanstalk falls down, killing the giant. End of story. They lived happily ever after. Since when did it become okay to tell our kids, go to somebody's house, steal whatever the fuck you can, and if they try to catch you, just kill them? So I started digging into this story. I was like, where the hell did this story originated? And then I found out it was in England. I'm like, yep, that's the most British thing you can teach your kids. Go to somebody's country, steal everything you can, and if they try to retaliate, kill them. But here's the thing, I wanted to dig in more. I was like, this is messed up. But then I found out, this is the modern version of the story. There's more to it. The original version, it was the giant who stole from the villagers. All this stuff that Jack was stealing back were the stuff that the giant stole from the villagers. I was like, this is the story we should be telling our kids. Because now the whole narrative changes. Because now Jack represents the colonies. He was just stealing things back. The giant represents the British. And the giant's castle is the British National Museum. I'm 37 years old. This is another way of saying, this is another way of me saying how old I am. I hate house parties now. Make some noise if you like house parties. As a young people. Because when I was young, house parties used to be fun, right? That's where you go, that you can drink cheaper, you know, you get to have fun. There was a simple anatomy of a house party, right? You go in, you drink, and then you have sex and leave. Doesn't particularly have to be in that order. You can leave and have sex too. Right? That was the house parties, right? But now, right? As a matter of fact, like house parties is how a lot of couple got together. And then house parties is how a lot of couples broke up. And I know couples who got together because they broke up at house parties. Like, you know, like what I'm trying to say is house parties were the answer to most of How I Met Your Mother question, right? She was drunk, I was high on cocaine, we both woke up next morning in a bathtub. Like, you know, right? But nowadays when I go to a house party, man, it feels like I'm walking into a symposium. Like people want to discuss things. Like it's a networking event or something. Like when you enter a house, you see already there are groups, right? There's a group in the kitchen. There's 2 groups in the living room in 2 corners. And there are 3 lads in the balcony getting baked. Like, you know, it's all house parties nowadays, right? And now when you enter the house party, you try to figure out, where the hell do you fit in, right? So I entered the house party, took off my shoes, I went to the kitchen, get a beer and figure out, and then I can see, like there's already a group in the kitchen, it was the vegans. Vegans always hang out in the kitchen, I don't know why, like, you know, it's maybe because they're trying to protect the vicinity from meat from entering, you know, like, you know, and either that or they're just too weak to walk to the kitchen, like, I don't know, like, one of those things. And then when I entered, this is what they asked, like, you know, they were like, Malinda, nice to see you, would you like a vegan beer that's new? And there's also a roots beer and a non-alcohol. None of that shit sounds like beer to me. It's like, can I have something stronger, please? Make it a double. Because now I need to figure out how long this house party is going to be. Right? And then I try to like, you know, fit in, and then, this group. You can see them. You can see them from afar. They look like zombies. Parents. And you can hear them talking in code, you know, 39 months. 55 and a half months. Like, you know, even some parents don't want to hang out with the parents. That's how bad it is, right? And then there's the worst type of parents. The pet parents. I'm a cat mom. I'm a dog dad. Wanna see my baby? You're a proper dickhead, that's what you are. Right now, at this point, I figured out it's only the lads outside, right? This is the only thing that I can do right now. So I go out, like, you know, after like 1.5 hours, 15 joints later. It's always the stoners who knows every secret of this universe. I don't know why. They know everything, right? And one lad just opens his mouth and goes, Malinda, where are you from? I'm from Sri Lanka. So you're not really black, are you? Never claimed to be, but thanks for noticing. Right? And then he goes, Malinda, do you know the people on the top? I don't know what top they're talking about. People on the top doesn't want us to believe that there are aliens. Malinda, do you believe in aliens? Do you know what, man, I do. As a matter of fact, I am half alien. My father is from the Death Star. And then, like, you know, my brain says, Malinda, this is boring, get the hell out of here. But I'm 15 joints in. My muscles are like, nope, you're not moving one of us. You know, and after like another 3 joints, this guy goes, Malinda, what do you think about that CBD? I was getting high on a placebo effect. Right? And I don't know why people, like, CBD is really the vegan weed of real weed, right? Like, you just pay extra to not get high. It's fucking mental, man. Make some noise if you're Gen Z. Don't worry, I'm gonna touch everyone. Not that way, not that way. Make some noise. Don't worry, man. Like, you know, we're gonna have fun. Yeah, that's nice. That's cool. You guys complain a lot, don't you? But I have to give it up to you. Everything that you did, like, you know, everything that you complain, there is some validity to it, yeah, you know? Like, you're not complaining about stuff, Just stuff. You complain about everything that is valid. And I have to give it up to you, and good job you're doing. You're just complaining, you're not doing anything about it. But on weekends you just go mushroom picking. But like what I'm trying to say, you do complain, you make valid points, and I appreciate that. But you have forgotten one thing. That every generation had problems with their older generations. And this is why I just can't wait Generation Alpha to get, grow up. We'll be on that boat waiting. we knew this day would come. We knew this day would come, Because here's the thing, man, you can't slay no more. It's all skippity now. See, I'm catching up with the lingo. But here's the thing, man, I will give all the right for you to complain and, blame our older generations, even us, right? But I will not let you have one thing. You have no right for this one thing. The fashion choices. You don't get to complain about our fashion choices, because you know why? We invented them. Every fashion choice that exists now are from the 70s, 80s, 90s, or the early 2000s. Right? You didn't come up with shit, man. We did, right? You like baggy jeans? Guess who else wore it? 50 Cent. Oh, you like your low-waist jeans? Guess who else wore it? Your mom. Yeah, she had a whore face too. That's why you exist. Here's the deal, man, here's the deal. Don't get me wrong. When I say we invented that fashion, right? We invented fashion, it's always like some European guy or American guy designed it. My cousin made it. But... so I take very much pride into it, right? The next joke is gonna be about the clitoris. I know, it's a touchy subject, right? Bear with me though. Recently, I was reading the news. When I say recently, a couple of months ago, right? I was reading the news, and I read this news that scientists have found out that snakes have a clitoris. Who is funding this research? Somebody woke up on a Wednesday morning and while having their coffee went, do you know what? I want to know if snakes have a clitoris. Right? And you might be wondering, Malinda, why are you so mad about this? You know why? Because I used to be a researcher. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get funding for research? Whenever somebody who's funding the research is not going their way, they pull out, right? And then there is someone who's funding to find out if snakes have a clitoris, right? And now think about it. If I keep watching two people, my own kind, having sex, I'm a pervert. But if I keep watching two snakes having sex, I'm a scientist. And you know, when I read this news, I wasn't even surprised, man. I wasn't even surprised. Because have you seen the way snakes move around? They have their tongue out for a reason. Also, snakes don't call it the clitoris, they call it the clitoris. I don't know, man. So now this information is here, right? So what are we going to do with this information? Great. Now we know another species in this world who's not satisfied with sex. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you, these people, right, who found out that snakes have a clitoris haven't even found their wives. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Malinda Perera. You guys been lovely. Thank you so much.